Well, that was a nail-biting game, wasn't it? My name is Stephen Dawes. This is Palace to the Core. Don't forget to subscribe for the latest Crystal Palace news, views and reviews. And talking about the Wolves game. So if you haven't seen it yet, I'm going to be spoiling it. So go and check it out and then come back and hear what I have to say about it. Now, from my point of view, from the previous game, I did feel that this would be a really tough game. And, we've had 3 games in a week. We have a limited squad. We've got injuries as well. So, I was expecting the team to be really tired, and I thought that this might be a really difficult game. And it was a difficult game. However, I felt that we made it perhaps slightly more difficult than we needed to. So, first half, I felt that we actually came out and did all right. I felt that we were, Wolves had a lot of the early possession. However, I felt that we weren't quite as intense as we had been the previous 2 games, and that's obviously going to be down to a little bit of fatigue on our part. But we weren't quite as quick to the ball, weren't quite as getting there as quickly as we had done in the previous 2 games. And I felt that Wolves were also trying to do the same thing to us. They were trying to get into us quickly, not leaving us time on the ball, trying to intercept passes and things like that. So it made it, I think, a bit harder for us even still. And you could see what Wolves were trying to do. They were trying to put passes through our defence, through the lines, and then the other person would come in from the other side and pick up on the ball. And they did it a few times, and the majority of the times it didn't quite work out, but a couple of times they did manage to get through, and Dean Henderson had to make a couple of good saves, including one with his head, which was... if that had been me, I would have been probably in hospital for a fortnight, but he managed to get up and carry on. So that was I think what they were trying to do, and we were trying to do what we normally do. But as I said, we were a little bit slow, a little bit laboured compared to what we've been before. You could see that we were a little bit lethargic after the previous 2 games, but we did get the first goal, and that was the best part about it for me, that we managed to get that. And that was in the second half, because first half it ended 0-0. And you could tell there were goals in the game, because we had, we had a couple of chances that I think we should have buried. I mean, we had, we had possession of the ball. We were, giving them problems in their defence, which of course we knew that Wolves' defence isn't the best. And we were creating chances. They just weren't quite falling for us, and that was the big issue that we had. Second half, I felt that we should come out and do a little bit better. However, at the beginning of the second half, Wolves were actually better than we were. They were the ones with the more possession, and they were playing a lot higher tempo, and getting to the ball first, and getting us off the ball when we had possession. And they had probably had the best of the early second half period, which concerned me a little bit. But then we kind of got back into the game again, and we had a couple of shots on goal which were I think ones that we should have done better with. And then of course Chalobah got his goal, and it was really quite good, because it came to the back post and he managed to control it and hit it through quite a narrow gap between the goalkeeper and the goal, and that was a really good goal from him. So we were 1-0 up at that point, and I thought to myself that it's going to be perhaps Wolves will kind of drop away and not lose a bit of their confidence, and maybe we can take over and do a bit more. But that wasn't necessarily the case, although we did have more chances to kill off the game. And this is the problem that I had, is the number of chances we had in that game that we didn't take. I mean, Sarr had at least 3, if not more, clear chances to put the game to bed, and he just couldn't hit the target. And and he was frustrated as anyone else was. You could tell that he was, but he just couldn't put them away. And Eddie Nketiah had opportunities, and other players in the team had opportunities to score, didn't put them away again. And I just think that we've got, maybe it's a bit of confidence, I don't know. Maybe they're just trying too hard. I don't know, but we really need to shake up this goal scoring situation that we have. We're creating a number of chances in each game, but we're just not putting them in the back of the net. I mean, Wolves were defending for their lives at times, and certainly made it difficult for us. But there were at least maybe half a dozen chances that we should have put away. And on another day, maybe we would have done. I don't know. None of the good ones unfortunately fell to Mateta, who I felt would have put them away. But I'll talk about the one that he did put away at the end in a little while. But so those goals weren't going in. And then of course Wolverhampton managed to go to the other end and get an equaliser, which was very disappointing. I felt that was very disappointing. Chalobah, who had scored the goal, unfortunately made a bit of a mistake there, enabling them to get the equaliser. And then very soon afterwards they got a second goal, which again was a very difficult pill to swallow. Lacroix didn't quite get hold of his man, and it went across, and it was a quite not a bad finish actually in the end to put them 2-1 up. And at that point I was thinking to myself, it can't be happening. It really can't be happening that we've had this many chances in a game and played not too badly considering the situation, and yet we're going to come away losing the game. And I felt that was possibly going to happen. Although we did try to get back into it, and we did eventually get back into it. I felt that we did try and dig deep. You could see the players were slowing down. You could see things were starting to get a bit more laborious for us because of energy levels were dropping and stuff like that. But we did manage to get a second goal because of Mark Gahey. It was a great little cross, and I'm wondering whether it was a great little corner, I should say, and I'm wondering whether it was one from the training ground, because the ball came in from Kamada, a little flick on by Munoz, and Gahey was coming in at the back post to bag it. So I'm wondering if that was a bit of a training ground routine. But anyway, so that was 2-2, and at that point the game was fairly open. Wolves were trying to get forward and score goals for, and we were trying to get forward and score. And there was a couple of incidents then right at the death of the game which I was a little bit concerned about. The first one, of course, was the JP goal. Well, I think it was probably a goal. The ball came in and it was blocked by the goalkeeper. Munoz was running in to get to the ball and fell over the goalkeeper, but the goalkeeper spilled the ball away. JP then hit it in the back of the net. The referee pulled it back and said that it was a foul on the goalkeeper, which I don't think it really was a foul on the goalkeeper. I think it was a bit of a 50-50 ball myself. But I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comment section, what you think about that. So that was obviously very difficult to swallow, because again that would have won us the game. So it was, and it was, as Oliver Glasner said in the post conference, the referee had allowed those type of challenges in the middle, the whole game, and then he didn't allow that one. Now obviously it's goalkeepers, goalkeepers are protected to a certain degree by referees, and I think that's probably why it was given. VAR said it was a correct decision. Again, I don't think it was, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on that anyway. And so it finished 2-2. And I felt really that we should have won the game. I really do feel that we should have won that game. I know that we were a little bit lackluster. I know that we were a little bit off the pace, but I think that we should have won the game. I think the players did well. I mean, Sarr worked really hard. He did work really hard, and he had a number of chances. I just think that he's perhaps a little bit rusty, a little bit off, off his confidence, and that's why he's not scoring. But I think on another day, with more confidence, he could probably have bagged at least a couple of those. I felt that Nketiah was good. What I like about Nketiah is that his work rate. He runs everywhere. He really just does try his best for the team. I love the way he takes players on. He runs at players, tries to get past them. I love that. So I think he's, again, he hasn't been able to get on the score sheet very much, but I think that hopefully that will also change with a bit more confidence. I felt that in the middle, Hughes had a good game again. Kamada, I know there are people who don't like Kamada, and I'm not saying that I think he's a great player. There were flashes in that game of good play. There was a great ball into Hughes, for example, that he played in. So there were flashes of good play, good passes and stuff like that, and then there were flashes of a bad play where he'd give the ball away or he'd mistime a tackle or something like that. So I think the jury is still out on Kamada. I know a lot of people think he shouldn't be playing, but I think that Oliver Glasner clearly has a lot of faith in him, and Kamadi himself has said that he's working really hard and that he's not happy with his game. So I think that like it or not, I think we're going to have him in the team with the injury situation we've got anyway. So hopefully he will continue to improve, if albeit slowly. I thought everyone else played fairly well. I think that Henderson made a couple of really good saves in there. I think that Chalobah obviously made a mistake for the first goal, but I think he had a good game, scored the goal. Lacroix was his usual cool, calm self. I felt that Hughes, as I said, was good, got his obligatory yellow card, so he's actually banned from the next game now. So you could see he was disappointed by it, and he actually got booked literally seconds before he was substituted. So that was a bit of a shame. But anyway, so he's going to miss the next game. Great to see Doucouré come on though. It was great to see him come on for the last 15-20 minutes. Looked a little bit off the pace, looked a little bit made a couple of rash challenges and pullbacks and stuff like that. So I think he wasn't quite on the pace, wasn't quite with the game, but it was great to see him come on and get a little bit of time there. So yeah, overall I think it was disappointing that we didn't get the win, because I think we deserved it, but at the same time I'll take the point, as a lot of people said that you would take the point before the game started. I will take the point because I think that it's a valuable point for us, but I think we could have and should have done a little bit better. But let me know down in the comment section what you think. Do you agree that we should have won that game, or do you think that actually a 2-2 draw was probably a fair result? I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comment section, and as always, I'll see you next time.